Um, most students work in groups, not in teams. And this is probably, you probably know the people you work with who are on your team versus the people with whom you just share information. So these students in product development, they have to make joint decisions. They have to look at the data together and analyze it together. Most projects, they say, you do problem 1, I'll do problem 2, you do problem 3, we'll staple them together when we come to class and we'll hand them in. Those are groups, not teams, and Jane distinguishes these very clearly in her work. But I think we have to be clear about the difference between what I call group work and teamwork. And group work, I think you can probably do by email and by, right? Because you can parse it out.
So what is the difference? What's the defining difference?
When they have to make decisions together to produce a result together.
A shared
result
Is
that
a team.
requires interdependent effort.
So that's a team.
Okay, so Sarah and I know this model of start with the left-hand side, which is my right. Collection of individuals, that's us here tonight. Collection of individuals walked in here for this meeting. A group, you give them a task to do together. To a team, where they actually have to organize themselves around goals, roles, procedures, relationships. To over here, and some of you have probably been on one in your life, a high-performing team. And what we do at Berkeley is draw a line between how do you get people from this group status across this line into a team status. But we do make a big distinction between the definition of a team versus a group. And I do think we are talking so far tonight anyway around groups, group where, group sharing. Teams have that additional element of we are truly in this together. We will not succeed if we do not collaborate. And therefore they have to figure out ways. And there's a little more of a sense of urgency about let's find a tool to help us do that. I mean, I think that's the driver. If you want to look for a marketing hook, that's the driver.
What's interesting, I mean, as you described it, startups are teams in a big way. I mean, you know, they. On the other hand, but by the nature of getting things done, they then break down tasks and become groups at each side. But truly teamwork. I mean, you have to envision a product, you have to envision a market, you have to envision the way that you have come to agreement about what it is you're addressing. And yet, I can't name a startup that I've met with, worked with, sit on the board of that has any software tool that really addresses this in any meaningful way. I mean, you know, interestingly, wikis have become increasingly sort of a tool that the startups are adopting. I think they're horrible. I think
they're a surrogate for a repository, a place where they're a surrogate for a repository for information.
And they're the coldest. I mean, what you describe is about warmth. It's about shared experience. It's about connection. It's about connection. It's not about information. And wikis are purely about information. They have no character. They have no, nothing of that. So, I mean, I think we're nowhere.
There's a question right there, by the way, but there's an article called Human Moments at Work or something like that, right? I mean, I guess one of the questions is, do we want to automate all this stuff? What can you do to facilitate a team's work, and is that different than what you want to do to facilitate it? Do you want to strip away all that stuff, have them do their Myers-Briggs online, and give them an automated report of who they'll get along with if they were ever to meet them? Or,
I like it.
Yeah, but are you going to fund it? There's a question.